Hey guys, this is a pre-recorded match playing against Gajo Dillo on Dry Arabia. He is playing as Delhi, and I think we had a previous match against him that I showed you guys, but yeah, I'm pretty sure a couple uploads ago there was another match against him. But yeah, he's a Conk 1. Going for his Delhi build here. His Delhi build, let's see. This build of Delhi looks a lot cleaner. Or either I'm confusing him with a different Delhi player that I played recently, but this Delhi build looks like a more standard Delhi build. Definitely not fully optimized because he's building the mosque with 5 villagers there. And we are going for I believe we're gonna go for a Mangudai play on this one. If we look at our vision here, we've gone for kind of a shorter route here. We did drop our vision, our con arrow up there to catch this scout if he comes around over here. It's a cool little depression on the map right here. And yeah, we got a decent amount of sheep here. We got 8 or 6 sheep. And it's just kind of our standard build. Going for the fast H2 into production. And yeah, seven sheep off rip, so it's a really nice return for us right there. He's going on a little bit farther of a route here. He hasn't dropped off yet. Well, he's on berries, so he doesn't really have to. I guess that's one plus side. At which point I wonder, even as Delhi, if you want to go more aggro, go across the map. You'll move across the map and get more vision that way. But I don't know. We're gonna go run into him here shortly. In terms of vision of the map, we're both pretty much the same. We just had to. We're kind of a little bit less than him, I'd say. Run into him here, and so we know he's kind of going for kind of a finishing up this side of the map. And I assumed he had come from like a midpoint kind of a place, but we weren't entirely sure, so we're just gonna keep going a little bit deeper here. We are tapping up with the silver tree. He's coming around. He's doing it like sweeping across the map. He's scouting the whole map, which isn't a bad idea, but in terms of timing, sometimes it can affect you. It can be less than ideal. And we're coming over and we're gonna scout around the back, so we wanted to check for any stray sheep that he might have missed here, and then we're gonna clean up the backside. But he has already gone there. And at this point, I think the map is... There's only sheep left in this corner over here. If there is any sheep. He picked up one more sheep over here. Yeah, and it's this corner back here. If there's any sheep left, it's right here. There's one by his base, I guess. We've spotted him. His base. We've dropped our falcon. Nice and close. We see he's on gold here. We do nab one sheep. And we see the Tower of Victory. So this is, again, kind of a feudal aggression play that a lot of Delhi players do. Very all-inning. We saw timing-wise, though, we were a little bit ahead of him. So we weren't too worried about it. Nothing out of the ordinary, really. And he has not scouted us. And so that's what I mean, kind of the bad thing with his scouting route. Like, he gets a lot of vision seen, but he doesn't actually scout my base. So he has no idea what's coming right now. And we've aged up. And we are fast tapping up our archery range. So by the time he's over here and he spots this, we'll probably already have our Mangudai in queue. And probably like 10 seconds in. But we'll see when he does see this. We'll switch players so we can double check. Flip a wolf out. Oh, there's a couple of sheep over here? That's crazy because we both... I guess I barely just missed that spot, so... That's alright. And I guess we picked up a couple more sheep. So there's a couple of sheep there that were lost in translation. And if we see him here, he spots our archery range, and we have 2 Mangudai already out on the way. So this is kind of the thing about spotting timing at a good time, to be able to tell what your opponent is doing to react properly. He's already invested in a stable and is building a stable. I believe Subaru was for... I don't know if he reacted or if he's just going off a rip. If that was just his blind kind of a stable. A lot of people actually do, because of the Ghazi Raiders are pretty good, and you can actually cycle them with your scholars and get a bunch of damage in and run back to your base and get healed up, and just keep kind of doing that. And you see here, we'll lock on our vision here for pretty much the rest of the game. We know that he's off of berries. We've denied this. We're running around. We have our scouting falcon up. We see another stable popping up. And now we see double stable. One good thing behind this is we're a little bit cleaner with our macro here. We dropped a stable at a pretty good time. So we have, by the 6-minute mark, we have keshiks being produced, which is great. Silver tree's up, and we have not started trading yet, but it would be good shortly. If we look at the fog of war, yeah, he's just collecting food on sheep, and we kind of knew that that was going to happen, that he was going to just be under his TC here. We're harassing over here. We see the Ghazi Raiders and the scout, so we're just going to fall back with our Khan. We're not too worried about him. We're sitting on these bears. We want to make sure we don't catch him out of transitioning, that he's able to pick us off in mid-transition here. And we have our Khan. Our Khan dies. I mean, we probably could have protected him with our Mangudai. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't getting like some cheeky gold or something like that. And we run into the Ghazi Raiders. And again, 5 Mangudai. They're not the strongest, but I mean, that's pretty good damage there. And so that's the key here. We got a pretty decent army now at this point. So we're at the 7.5-minute mark. We got 7 Mangudai in his base, a keshik and a scout. A little bit unfortunate in terms of, if we were over here, if we had moved to the east sooner, we deny this outpost 100% early on. And that's in part me going there and not protecting my Khan earlier. If I had done that, then I could have rotated over here. This is something that I should have expected the play going, the following play to be onto berries, no, because he's got to secure his next closest food source, and that's these berries patches. And we're able to get a pick here, 1 villager, which is nice, but it's we're under a tower, and we can't be under a tower with Mangudai this early on. It really is just not a good trade for us at all. So we do whatever damage we can, and then we're just going to kind of sit here, mass up. We have more units pouring across. We haven't started trading. We do drop a outpost. Oh, I guess we have started trading. We got 2 traders going. And I think we saw his horsemen running around. Well, we knew that they were leaving. They had gone out to the east. So we figured that he was going to go raid our trade, look for a trade. So we're trying to look for him right now. We're trying to find him. We thought maybe he'd be sitting on this market looking for a trade, and he's actually further south. Over here, we run a horseman into there just to kind of harass and see what's going on. We do find a couple of Ghazi Raiders there. Blacksmith is up. We've got +1 arrow damage, but we still have to get some more damage. He's running around looking for, I don't know, routes or something? Where's he running to? He's running over here. Okay. So he's looking for traders, but I mean, he's close to where he needs to be, but not exactly on the ball right there. And we're running around, we're looking for him. We don't see him. So we're going to rally our army up to the center again. I figured that I lost track of him. And then we see his army over here, and we're able to pull back before he runs, before he starts hitting us. So at least an okay reaction here by us in terms of timeliness. But we do lose. We've lost 2 villagers. I think we lose up to 3. So we just lose 2. Behind this, we have an army running around the backside of his base. and we see that he's walled. So the first time we've got knowledge of these walls. And again, that's something that happens, you know. We have him in his base, we have him in a really good spot, and then he pushes out with ghazi. He couldn't actually defend this tower being dropped here. He was just able to because we pulled our army away for a little bit too long and looked away. So it's just, there are things that have happened for sure. We're trying to pull our army over here to deal with these Ghazi raiders. He's killing our traders here, and we have to defend our main base. These villagers first and foremost, so that's why we pull there. We have 2 villagers, or we're working on 2 deer packs right now, and so we only have 11 villagers on food, but the deer basically allows us to have like 3. It's 2 or 3 for constant production, and I think it's 5 for constant production from a stable or the range in terms of the cav units. We do get a nice little pick here. 2 Ghazi raiders separated out from the rest of them, and only 4 archers, so we're able to fall back here. We drop the attack arrows because we want to keep pressure over here, and this is a pretty big army. Army value wise, he's ahead of us, but honestly, we can fight this army all day. Keshiks are a decent front line, but really this massive Mangudai is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here. We have 2 Keshiks here, a horseman, so we're just harassing in the back behind this, making sure that he's keeping his micro in a couple of spots. And these Keshiks are just kind of doing their thing, soaking up damage, getting damage in, trading out. And we're able to clean this up. Take out his army, and so we're just trying to find these horsemen. We assume they're going to be rallying over here. They were over in the stealth forest, but we figured that he's got to be somewhere around in this corner because we knew he was close by. So we do run into him. A little bit of a miss micro. All of our units take a bunch of damage for free. We lose a Mangudai for free. Our Keshik doesn't get a good hit in, but we do have a couple more Keshiks here. And so this is what I mean by being able to take this fight. Letting the Keshiks front line here, and the Mangudai just kind of chunking away damage as they go. And even though his army is pretty scary in terms of army value, it's more expensive than us, he can't really fight us on his terms, even though he's got a faster unit. They're not fast enough to really make up for it. And so I talk about the healing here. His scholars healing up this cav. At this point, if we look at our vision, we take this fight, we take this charge. He's just losing units. His Ghazi raiders can't trade up against Keshiks really. And this is where we see this massive archers. We see 7 archers. And yeah, we're just harassing where we can, doing what damage we can. Behind us, our trade is booming. We've gone up to triple markets here to really start accelerating our trade, especially since he did have a couple of villager kills on us. Overall, though, we're keeping a little bit of a lead in terms of villager numbers. It would have been nice to get more raids around the back at this point, but he does have a pretty big army at the front, and we have to be ready to deal with this. We worried about him going up to the north to our market. That's why we send this army up here. Mangudai mass has fallen a little bit. We're only at 6 now. That's kind of what I mean in terms of being able to keep that mass and growing and going. It's really important. And we do transition into more stables. So we've gotten 3 stables and 1 range. And it's because we knew that the last time, I'm pretty sure this is the guy we played again, almost 100%. And I knew that he massed archers, and he liked to mass archers. I didn't expect as much Ghazis. And even if he does mass Ghazi, my Keshikin will trade really good against them. Horsemen will trade decent. The big thing really is making sure that I'm cav heavy enough to force him to go into spears. And yeah. I'd rather be for him be forced into spears more than anything. So behind this, we're also really heavy on wood, and since we had gone into the pocket ecos, we weren't really on pastures or anything, which is fine. Eco-wise, it'd be nice to have this double broad axe. We're kind of messing up not having that already, but we're on both of our deer patches, which is again really nice. If you look at income per minute, he's at 1,000 income per minute for food. It's almost 700. Well, 650 on wood. We're at 500. and we're at almost 500 on gold, and he's at 200. So his sacred site here is going to really help him. So again, we run into the to these Ghazi raiders over here. We're just kind of patrolling around here. Catch him on a nice pick because his army's separated, and every time we catch him on these picks, they're treated really well for us. And he's got a mass of archers here supported by the Ghazi raiders. Oh, we aggroed it onto this monk over here. That's why my Mangudai aren't shooting. I wonder why they weren't shooting. But yeah, again, we have a decent sized army here, and we'll take this fight with our cavalry mass. These Ghazi raiders are they can't really stand up to keshik. I know they get their bonus against damage against light or against heavy units, but it's not ever a really good trade. And we're trying to micro our Mangudai away from this fight and have the cavalry engage. A little bit of a miss micro by pulling these Mangudai back in here. I lose these Mangudai basically for free, and it wasn't really necessary. Ghazi Raiders, again, decent unit, but they can't really win against keshik here. We had 7 keshik at the beginning of this fight, and now we have 8. Or I guess now we have 7. We lost 1. So basically, we just traded out armies and we only lose 1 behind this. We're dropping an outpost on our trade line, and then we're just build a few more archery ranges to match our stable production. Again, he didn't commit into spears. He's been making a lot of archers and cav, and it looks like we know now on the backside that he's doubling down on cavalry. He canceled a bunch of stables or barracks that he's building back here. That's the other thing. Okay, there's his barracks getting built up back here, but yeah, you definitely want to build, especially with Tower Victory, you want all of your production to be in the back behind it so you can rally into it. But we cleaned up this army really well. The army value has shifted like enormously. He's capping a 3rd sacred site, so we're gonna go for that. And yeah, at this point we're pretty much, the game is it's pretty much GG at this point, I would say. We've pulled really far ahead. We've got 30 traders at this point. And yeah, it's just gonna kind of snowball from here. 4 keshiks, 1 Mangudai, and 3 horsemen, more than enough to deal with this. And we run into his scholar over here, and we're gonna pick that off. And he's still got, I guess, food over here, but yeah, there's just been a lot of army that gets lost, and behind this, our macro boom is just a lot more. It's just we've invested into you know, a big macro play behind this, and he really hasn't. He's transitioning into barracks now because we're cavalry heavy, so it's a good play on his part for him to realize that. Ghazi Raiders, again, decent, great units against men-at-arms and feudal. You know, really good answer for dealing with those types of things, but they're not. They're really bad against keshiks. They're definitely not a good unit against keshiks. Our raiding army over here finds a market, and we find him on berries. So we're gonna hit those guys. We'll go back to our vision so you guys can kind of see how we're playing and seeing. We're stopping around 34 traders because it's more than enough, and we're dropping more. We're spending our wood on infrastructure, rallying troops to the middle, and we're just pushing this front spot. He's trying to drop an outpost and establish this front ground here, which isn't a bad move. Well, we've got this tower down, killing these villagers out. He's bringing some spearmen over. Again, we're fine with using this army over here. It's just taking attention and macro, and it's 5 keshik, so he's going to have to commit a decent amount of units to have to deal with this. Whether it be spears, even if it's spears, like we're losing. Like, it's not a good trade to fight these spears with our keshik, but we can heal off of this mill, we can heal off of this market, and yeah, we just killed like 5 or 6 units there. So again, that's one big plus of the keshiks. Over here again, pushing the front, burning down this infrastructure. Always important to burn down infrastructure. We're up to 20 keshiks, 13 Mangudai, and yeah, again, this is when our army is really big, and numbers wise, he can't really compete with us here. Our keshik that was at 13 health is up to 44 now. So we're gonna double back and deal with this Ghazis. You know, we got units coming over here to deal with it. We've got plenty of infrastructure coming up. We're transitioning into pasture-based food eco. We do have a board we can deal with here, but we're just pulling our army to deal back because I felt really confident in terms of having won this game already. So I'm not too worried about having to deal more aggression here. We're just gonna rally some more troops up and run our knights around to go find what we can around the back here. I think there was a gold mine back there. And yeah, we're just gonna catch up to these. Our main army is gonna catch up to these Ghazis and see what we can get in terms of kills. If he kills a couple of traders here and there, we're not too pressed. We're sitting at 2,000 gold a minute. So yeah, we're not worried about losing a couple of traders here and there. We find nothing on the gold over here, so we're gonna rotate over to this berry patch. This is deers into this deer herd, I guess you would say. And one Ghazi raider we're able to clean up. We catch him on a great timing here. We find him committing a tower onto these deers, and yeah, he taps out from there because that was kind of his next food transition. And besides the fact that we've got 30 traders and our eco is just way ahead of him, so good game to our opponent. And then let's see. Okay, sorry about that. Put it on pause for a second. So we just watched, yes, this one. Yeah, so villager count was, you know, he's actually kind of pulling ahead in terms of villagers. When we got that nice little raid in, you know, kind of equalized. We kind of dropped off on our villagers here. You can see we weren't keeping constant production there. But eco count, our markets were definitely pulling us ahead there. So, and that big trade in terms of military, yeah, that was a big fight here when he lost all of his military. I'm pretty sure we played him before, but I don't know. Anywho, let's see another one. This was against Mebak. He's also Delhi, so I guess this can be just against the Delhi's ultimate for this video. This is on Hill and Dale. And we're playing, yeah, Mebak. I'm pretty sure we played him too, but I think the other time we played him, I think he was, I want to say he was Abbasid. Well, I can't remember, but I feel like that was a recent video as well. So if we look at our vision and our spawn, just so you guys can kind of see what we're doing here. I might actually, you know what? I think I'll go on to locked camera so we can see kind of how we were playing. So collector 50 wood with our villagers. We're dropping them off. Rallying our Connor on the side here to get his vision going. Villager builds his Ovu, then he starts collecting gold. And okay, he runs his scout into our TC. Oh man, survive at 3 health. So this is where we take our Connor. We're trying to find this guy. Okay, I'm really curious. Where does his scout go? His scout runs over here. Oh man, he's like he does a loop around, so he wants to see my base. I thought he would go like just south, like and return to his base, or maybe go on a wide route to, you know, heal up. But he goes on a really close route, and I just miss it. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's not gonna win or lose the game, but I mean, denying him that early vision and sheep would be really big, really big. So now if we, that's the only bad thing. I wish I could unlock my camera from my vision without having to switch to regular UI. Okay, well, we're on caster mode. We run into his scout here. Age 1, so I can't shoot and move. I have to auto shoot and move. I have to shoot and run and move. Let's see this build. Yeah, this isn't ideal Delhi build because the mill is way late. But we do pick up a sheep here, and he's gonna run up in front of us. So here's one thing: he's kind of running in front of us. and we're just kind of looking around to see what we could find. The chances of us running into him again are slim, and we figure he's probably just headed up towards his base in one direction or the other. He's actually continuing to scout, which is actually probably the best choice here for him, because he's deli. He can just harvest sheep, so he can just finish scouting out the whole map. You can see he's scouted about 90% of the map at this point, 80%, and we're only around 50. One nice thing is though, we see this sheep here, and so we're going to be able to get a couple of sheep here and bring them back. And if we look at his scout, he's only got 3 sheep, so he actually hasn't picked up that many sheep from this really long scouting mission, and we had a pretty good sheep haul in the back of our base. Oh, he's got another scout. Okay, I didn't even realize the second scout. I'm not paying attention, I guess. Yeah, there's even says 2 scouts up here. Wow. Yes, he's got a bunch of other scouts over here, so overall he's sitting in a really nice spot here. That's kind of the strength of going 2 scouts as well. That's just kind of one of the really big strengths. Just 1 second, I'm gonna pause it. I have a phone call real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. So we're tapping up. Oh wow, he just started tapping up with 9 villagers on the Dome of Faith. 11, 8 villagers. So he knows he's late on his age up, and that's why he's tapping up with so many. But again, if you're committing this many villagers to your age up to age 2, something's a little bit off with your build order. That you have to commit that many villagers on it. You're definitely not. It's not ideal. This isn't ideal. Kind of weird. Anywho, let's look at our vision. He's sending his scouts across to. He's gonna finish scouting over here. This guy is just chilling at the base. Look at me. Let's see. I've aged up, and I see that he's transitioning onto stone, which signals to me TPC. And we did go for a keshik stable play, and he's scouting us on gold. A little bit of a mistake in terms of us with our con here. You have to be a little bit careful, but we see the 2 TC play here. Silvertree's gonna go set up. Stables producing. Switch out the keshik for scout. Wheelbarrow is on the way, and TC's producing. We are on 10 villagers on food. We'll go up to 11. Again, it's kind of what I've been changing. It's just to make sure I got enough production going, food production. So when I drop that secondary infrastructure building, I can produce more units. Let's see, we got 170 wood, so I should be dropping a secondary production building or blacksmith. It should be a range, honestly, before a blacksmith. I usually only get a blacksmith if I open into a range first. So you have the range up. We're getting chased by the scout. Again, not in the world. Our con kind of deal with it, running around. We did drop our falcon here, so we've got a good tab in terms of this, but we see that he's going to move over to these deer and try to build a TC here, but we have keshik here, so a little bit of a mistake on our part not microing it properly and killing it. He does able to micro that scout away and survive, so a little bit of mistakes here and there while we're trying to do our macro behind it, so not ideal. Our food eco-wise, we decided to rush up to we are able to dive this barrack getting produced. We don't kill any villagers, but we do deny the barrack going up, and we're not going to be able to burn this down, so we do have to fall back. Losing that that keshik was a little bit unnecessary. Now that we've gone up to, I think we were up to 14 villagers on food, and that's to keep these 2 production buildings going non-stop. But again, it really delays our macro game behind this, our trade game, so we're okay with it because we're going to be producing units. We're going to produce a double produced Mangudai over here to deal with this. Pull villagers onto deer, and now we're going to start rallying villagers onto wood. So 14 villagers, well 13 right here, one of them's on sheep here, but 13 villagers on deer is that's gonna produce 13 villagers on deer is gonna keep the stable and the range producing constantly, as well as possibly my TC, and I should have a little bit of extra food over after that. So I should be slowly accumulating food with 13 villagers on deer and 1 villager on sheep. So nice little raid here. We're not getting a lot of kills. Okay, we get 2 real kills, but we're causing some good idle time. Nice. And we're gonna commit to under this to this fight because we know he needs wood for his TC. Once he gets this this spearman out, we do fall back. If we're gonna take this fight on the spearman, we have to do it out from under TC fire. Bad micro on our part, not saving this. We have started trading, so we're up to 71 gold per trader, which is gonna be nice. And there's the scholar running around, and we're trying to get vision with our con. Let's see what's happening. Second TC is already going up, and yeah, it's just out of our vision here. I mean, if we had dived in here with these keshik, it would have been nice. Would have been a really good denial, but the fact that this TC that he's trying to fast TC is coming up and getting used now at 8.5 minutes, and it's not even getting used yet. He doesn't have any villagers getting produced from here yet. Over here, he's got a villager production. No villagers produced yet. So basically, we were able to slow down his build on the second TC till, there we go, almost the 9-minute mark before there's a villager keeping here. So that's really big. It's a lot of idle resource time, slowing down that second TC build. It's not something that you see a lot of Delhi players go for. Is second TC. It's definitely not the strongest. It's just hard to keep pace with it. So as Delhi, I mean, in Delhi, you're all about the feudal aggression and push. The second TC really doesn't. I mean, it can be done, but it's usually done behind aggression, not before aggression. Over here, we're just burning down this palisade wall. You know, he might finish this wall up, which is fine. This wolf is really annoying. Our villager does kill it though, which is nice. And we are going up to triple markets, which is going to be helpful. And our boom setting up. We are on to 12 villagers on wood. We do need to get our eco upgrades. Military upgrades we also have to get. We're slacking on that. He does have nearly all of his eco upgrades, so his eco is going to be in a pretty good spot. But he's lost 4 villagers, and we're trading behind this, so he's definitely on a timer now. The plus side is he is on 2 TC, but he's so far behind on 2 TC. I want to say, like, if the game just stays as is and nothing really happens in terms of like aggression and ecos just grow, I think at the 35 minute mark, I'd say about the 30-minute mark, he'll have a better eco than me in terms of just like the balance, because we'll be super gold heavy and we'll be a little bit suffering for villagers, but there's a lot involved with that, because you're assuming no aggression, you're assuming map control, you know, food production, you know, gold, all those types of things. So having the villagers and access for them, map control for them to gather is a big thing. So we're still rallying troops across. We are almost done with this deer patch, which is important to note, because this is, as you see with the 14, we've been able to keep constant production, and we're at 400 food, so we're able to kind of bank up for a castle in some sense here. And we're just denying this gold, denying here, and if we look at the map here, he is walled off over here, so super safe by him. But gold-wise, like, he has to take this gold to take the map, or like to be able to go to castle. So I think one mistake here is pulling my whole army back. I could have left some of my army here. We just could have sat on his gold all day, because he would have to produce. I mean, there's no way he gets the castle otherwise, right? So we didn't notice, and we deny this, you know. But at the same time, I think I could have done that with these couple of guys. on their way rallying over instead of pilling over my whole army. If you watch his base, he doesn't take advantage of the fact that my army has moved and dropped or anything. He's just massing an army to fight us. It is a wood army, and it's kind of what he needs to properly to fight us. He needs archers and spears. And right now we're at a much more expensive army than him. We're at double the cost, and that's because we've been able to constantly produce. But we don't have our steeled arrow upgrade yet, which is a little bit bad. It would be nice to have that, especially since he's getting +1 arrow defense. This wolf is so... Okay, we're killing this boar now, okay. So we get caught out here a little bit, lose a couple of units, and he's got a bunch of archers and he's got spears. So this is a fight that we just kind of have to fall back from. Like, sure, we could... Like, if our army was, like, just all Mangudai, like, I'd feel a lot more comfortable taking this fight. But you just have to be careful. Taking this fight because these units, you know, spearmen do so much damage against keshiks and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Keshik does 15 damage, but it doesn't do, you know, the 23 damage with the lance and stuff. There's no bonus damage. But you look at the spear, it does 8, but it does +20 versus cavalry. So it's just like it becomes almost three spearmen in one go. A keshik doesn't become 3 spearmen against any, or 3 keshik against anything, or 2 or anything. It doesn't get. It's got good stats, but it doesn't get that big bonus in terms of countering. So these are strong units in the sense that they counter. Getting extra bonus damage in this counters is really helps you get a lot of value out of them. So we can sit here and we can kite and just deal with these spearmen, working down numbers a little bit. And he starts building a wall on us, which is a little bit frustrating because we do kind of try to dive and take this fight a little bit better. I think I should have pulled my keshiks around to fight the archers here, but we're trading our keshiks here really poorly. We're doing other things behind this. We decided to drop a second TC. Again, he was going pretty like passive, and our trade was like super far ahead. We're at 25 already. So we go with this really greedy play, which is going for the second TC, and this is mostly because our we're not macroing our food properly. I think is kind of an issue here. Like if we start building pastures and more infrastructure buildings here, we hold and take this fight a lot better. So we do go up to a couple more infrastructure buildings, but yeah, we're definitely setting up for a longer kind of a game, a little bit more passive kind of a play style coming from us. Because we could have kept him in his base, I think, with a little bit proper macro in this case. But army-wise, we're still almost double his army value costs, and his big mass has been chewed up a little bit, and he's dropping more walls. Again, walls are pretty annoying because he's taking map control and stuff and just making it so we can't just straight push him. And we have to be careful about these walls too because it can really, you know, slow down tempo and stuff like that. So we have to be trying to put on aggression, but that's why we're committing a lot into military right now. We've got 19 villagers on food, and we're rallying more villagers onto food right now. We're switching into our pasture eco. This girl needs to move forward. Then we see that he pulls a bunch of spearmen here. We have an outpost over here and a second one. We don't have one here or further back on our line. At the very beginning, by our markets, we also don't. We're at 30 traders, so we're fine to lose a couple. And we're just going to rotate our army over here to come help. Again, kind of unfortunate that we didn't get our towers up and going in time, because we definitely had time to. We have another army massing here at the front of our base, and we're going into a couple more stables, a couple more ranges, so we're going to be up to 8 infrastructure buildings here. And we got our army here. We're going to clean this up. And then he's got a couple of spearmen here, and a scout over here. I probably could just let the scout because it's not going to do anything. And then he does a really nice play here. He starts walling this here. I don't realize. I really didn't realize it. until much later on. And I'm pulling this army over here to come deal. Hopefully it'll help stop, and we gotta burn these walls down in time for our army to do something. And these guys were clicked over past, and yeah, now that everybody's running around because of this wall, including my army, and I didn't realize it. And he's going to castle behind this, and we're chilling in feudal. Investing in army, and I mean, we got a great army. We can like defend ourselves, and we have a really safe eco. We've got 40 traders, so we're sitting where we want to be. It's just yeah, we didn't realize this little thing with the wall here, and we have 3 keshiks here, so not enough to really push this. He's got a nice army here. In terms of archers, like, it's not a really good army to be fighting this amount of keshiks. And he's going to lose out, but he's going to try sniping Mangudai, which, again, if you want to trade out your archers from a Mangudai, I'm cool with. I have no problem with it, because even my Mangudais will trade pretty decent to your archers. So he loses this whole army mass here, which is going to set him back a pretty good amount. And we finally burnt down this palisade wall, and then we see that he's building more walls. So again, really annoying. And it's just bad on our part not cleaning this up earlier. And we do start pushing across the map in the middle here. We want to start finding map control, finding and this army would take to go raid around the side here. See, we're rallying up and over. We sent this villagers to go take this boar up here. It was really kind of greedy. But we find that he's got walls at the front of his base, so we're going to commit to burning down his gate a little bit, get some forward pressure, put him kind of in a weird spot, and we're looking to castle up at this point. We got the resource for it. We're floating a ton of wood. Again, I'd like to start dropping some more infrastructure, whether it be pastures. We've got only 7. There we go. So we're dropping a bunch of pastures, so 12. So it's a good use of that to make sure that our villagers stay busy on food. We see his army here. We go up with Kurultai. We're pulling our wood villagers to do this, and we're just chilling. We don't have to super commit here. We're gonna wrap around the side with our other army over here. 13 Mangudai, 6 keshiks, and again, that's the only bad side. Not having enough Mangudai or keshik here to help burn down these gates really fast. So we see this army here, or these villagers here. He's got like 25-ish villagers. Yeah, 23 plus these, so 26 villagers. And we're trying to find a hole in his base. If we look at the map again, let's see. Oh man, he's sending us Hero Spear to go wall my base. He doesn't have much army, and he hasn't walled this northern side, so that's kind of a big deal. I'm surprised he spent like all this wood, like even this wall, like dropping this wall, and not a wall up here was kind of an oversight. But we do clear out a couple of villages here, which is nice. And we do find his gold, so we're able to put some pressure on there. We're rallying more troops in the middle. He's getting all of his castle age upgrades, but we're also getting quite a few upgrades. We're rallying a bunch of keshiks here, but we really need to drop some more stables. That kind of messed up my macro. I'm floating a good amount of wood to start building stables as well. And we're getting chewed up by these towers. We don't have enough keshiks to really deal with this. So our other army is over in the back of the base, putting pressure on. Over here, his Hero Spearman has finished the wall, so our trade is going to get all fucked up again. And getting this barrack down was pretty nice. It really makes him, having to reinvest into more wood. I mean, he's got tons of wood. He's floating a ton of resources, but just slowing down his military is never a bad thing. I didn't see these villagers over here. I'm rallying my army together over here, so yeah, I didn't see these villagers. Would have been a really nice pick to get those villagers. We start moving across the map over here, and we've gone up to 4 stables now. Again, I'd like to have like maybe 7 stables at this point. And there's a siege workshop going up, a prayer tent, 2 siege workshops, so we're committing to a more heavy army to really push this. The ranged tower elephants are really strong against the Mangudai. We do have to kind of fall back from this fight. We're not going to do a lot of damage here. We're just going to take a lot of damage. So we start peeling back there. Again, tons of traders. They're getting 79 gold now because of that extra route. So worked out in favor. We're at almost 50 traders. So that's once it starts turning in, it says we have 800 gold a minute, but I guess that's the other thing too about trade. It gets kind of funky. Over here, we're able to clean this up and we burn these holes in the wall, so this gets straightened out, and we are going to be able to tap up to our imp age quickly. We knew we were really ahead in terms of eco, so we want to take the tech advantage. You know, he took kind of a tech advantage on us on the castle age play, but we can take take it another step from there and go imp. He can't really push the front of our base. We felt really safe, and army value wise, we can see that he's really far from that. He is doing a good job picking up relics. He's got 2 already, and we are gonna start sending out guys to pick up relics. And he starts walling over here. He does a good job of realizing that we got this Mangudai here, and canceling the stone wall gatehouse so we don't start burning it. If we had started burning it, that would have been really nice. Because you can destroy a wall segment. Either way, though, we're getting our elite Mangudai. See a bow limbs improved. Yeah, improved. And we see that the castle starts going up here on gold. So this is his play for gold for kind of to solidify the rest of the game for him. And we don't notice this. So that was really bad. We took us a long time to really notice that. And so we dive in, and we're gonna be able to like clean up this army. Like we felt pretty confident that we're gonna be able to like fight this and like trade out decently. Especially since we have like our elite upgrades are coming through. Like we're not on it yet, but this is gonna be like a decent trade because we can afford this, no problem. And he's gonna be suffering for these resources. And you know, behind this, we're just bringing in more army. We are dropping some towers over here to start killing his these units, and that's where the rest of our army just shows up. We did pull our wood villagers over to here. We do have really nice couple of wood lines over here, pretty safe, and bunch of villagers dropping the siege workshops. They're getting chewed up, and yeah, he's lost a lot of vills at this point. And these siege workshops are just building rams at this point. Just to chew down this castle, and we kind of mess up not protecting that first ram. If we protect that first ram, I think it definitely speeds up the game a little bit. But again, we're not like in a bad spot at all. This is 100% over, I would say at this point. We're just cementing things. So we're dropping a couple more stables forward. We do have 19 pastures, which is nice. Getting close to what our max is gonna be, and this villager could be building some more infrastructure. We need to get our upgrades here, and we send our rams in, and this is really like, again, this is kind of like just really sloppy micro by us to take down this keep. I'm just not committing like army to like protect my rams, and yeah, I got another ram on the way. So we're just gonna, I should be just committing to burning this down with my keshiks, and we're just chilling, not doing anything. So we mass our army here on this bottom side to really protect this ram, because this keep has been stagnating us quite a bit. But in terms of like resources, his gold is also, he's committed onto this. He's gonna lose this, and yeah, he's does a good job saving these vills. It's a nice little pull from him, nice little micro. Another siege workshop up front, more stables. Still a couple more rams coming through. We do finally send a monk out to go capture, I think. Yeah, it's our first monk, so a little bit late on our monks here. But yeah, he taps out. He knew that this was just gonna go south from here because he lost his keep, and that was kind of the only thing holding him. And then this is just burn city all day. So decent match. A little bit of a different kind of a play by the Delhi player to do that kind of a opening. But yeah, it's just spotting it, delaying that TC till the like basically almost the 9-minute mark before he gets a villager out from that. So that's a pretty big deal. If we look at the total villager count, this is where his second TC starts kicking off, right? But typically in like a perfect world, this second TC is starting back here, right? Even before this. So being able to deny that, kill a couple of villas, put us ahead in terms of villages was big. You can see we stagnated our villa count here a little bit, so a little bit of mistakes in terms of our eco macro. But if you look at our economy count overall, we do a pretty good job with our trade boom, making sure that we stay ahead. And military, we stay pretty stable throughout. Just the big fights where we lose units, but he also loses quite a few units during these fights as well. And does okay, but not enough to like really secure the win. So, good KD there for us. So, resources wise, yeah, we're way ahead. If you look at the gold difference, it's almost it's 9 to 1, almost 10 to 1. Yeah, it's 9 to 1. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's almost he's almost 4,000, so it's like 8 to 1 really. So we're ahead on wood, ahead on stone. Food is way ahead too. So yeah, good game to our opponents there. They're both delis, both fairly open maps, and yeah, hope you guys liked it, and see you on the next one.